I'm Ebony McMorris, White House correspondent for American Urban Radio Network, and I am here right now reporting from the historic Metropolitan AME Church that has stood for 186 years as a place of liberty and of justice, and the place where Reverend Al Sharpton has chosen to hold his MLK Day rally. And on today, it holds significance because he called today a tale of two cities. On one hand, just blocks away from here, Donald Trump taking his oath of office to become the 47th president. But here, he says, we are up here, here to uphold the principles of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and also here to protect DEI, which he says is under attack. Also here, the participants in the hundreds, he urged them to raise their right hand and take an oath. That oath is to uphold diversity, equity, inclusion for everyone. He said while he was talking to the crowd here that over the next 90 days, he is commissioning a group of leaders that is going to look at some of the largest companies that have profited off of Black communities and others that have scrapped all of their DEI efforts. And at the end of that study, he is bringing them together to announce the two large corporations that he says, in quote, that he is going to do what Dr. King did, organize and take action.
I've talked with Mark Morial of the Urban League. I've talked to others. We're putting together a council. I'm going to release the names this week. Alfonso David, for 90 days, they're going to do a study of what companies have pulled out of DEI and what companies have a small margin of profit. And we in 90 days are going to announce the two companies that we're going after. And we're going to ask everybody in this country, Black, white, brown, gay, straight, woman, trans, don't buy where you are not respected. Donald Trump can't make us buy your stuff. The Senate can't make us buy your stuff. In the name of Dr. King, we're going to do what Dr. King did.
Lots of cheers and chants from the audience here saying we will not go back. But once again, Dr. King, a legacy and memory being realized and actualized today as we also witness the inauguration of our 47th president. This is Ebony McMorris here. We are also talking to many of the congregants. Listen to what they have to say about why today is so important.
And it was a great day. I wanted to share this holiday with my two children, Emily and Madison, and I wanted to hear what Reverend Al Sharpton had to say, and as always, he is so amazing. I heard him at my church on Sunday, and I followed him down here. So this was a great Martin Luther King Day and a great ceremony.
I feel like it was very fun, and it kind of helps me learn new things to learn in school and stuff.
The message that I'm taking back with me today is don't always reminisce on the past. Look to the future and use the past as your reference.
I feel great. I feel blessed. I feel good to know that the battle is not over. Although there's a new man in the White House, we know who sits on the throne. And God said he will never leave us nor forsake us. It's our ancestor spirit that we stand on. They fought, they bled, and they died, marching and rallying for us to be standing here right now today. So we have to go back and do as they said. We have to stand up and fight.
The charge ahead of me is to do something and not to be afraid. I think we walk sometimes in fear, even though we're Christians, we walk in fear because sometimes as Reverend Al Sharpton talked about, the giant seems so big. But when he put it in perspective, we have all the tools, the slingshot, everything we need, the knowledge, the know-with-all. And more importantly, we have God that's behind us. And we can take down any giant that tries to come up against us.
Well, the action is walk by faith and not by sight. We walk in love and not in hate. Our strength comes from above and not from below. Our trust is in God and all we do wherever we go. God is our guide, God is our leader, God is our protector. He protected us in ages past, and He is our hope for years to come. He brought us through the peaks and the valley. These folks are on the mountaintop, but I thank God He came to the valley. That's where we were. That's at least that's where I was, and I am. But He delivered me out of the valley and put me on a street called straight. And since we are there, we have the strength to walk and the faith to believe that if God brought us in ages past, He continue to bring us faith forward from now on until He returns.
I think it's important that it's in the midst of what was shared today, it's important for us as a black community to organize and to continue to just look at what we're up against over the next few years. And we got to make sure that we still gather together as a community to make sure that we unite together. There's many people that don't have the voice to be able to a voice for themselves or be able to fight for their rights, and we have to be able to put ourselves in a position that we gather together and be the voice for the voiceless.
During today's event, we heard from Jennifer Jones-Austin and Alfonso David, who is the president of the Global Black Economic Forum, who encouraged people to take economic action in the years going forward. In addition to that, they told the audience that they needed to look at the redistribution of wealth, something that we know Dr. King was for and talked about a lot. Here's the thing. As we stand at the crossroads of history, we are reminded of what Dr. King wrote about and what he asked in his book, Where Do We Go From Here, Chaos or Community? That is the question that Reverend Sharpton put to the audience here today, and that is the question that Americans will have to answer in the years to come. I'm Ebony McMorris here at Metropolitan AME Church in Washington, D.C. for American Urban Radio Networks.